Right now, someone is probably not watching you, but you can feel it anyway. That crawling sensation on the back of your neck, that certainty that if you turn around fast enough, you'll catch them. You won't. They aren't there. Yet, you felt it, and you've felt it 1,000 times before. Your ancestors called it a sixth sense. Modern people call it intuition. Psychologists have spent decades trying to explain it away. But the real answer is far stranger than any of those explanations. The feeling that you're being watched is one of the oldest survival instincts encoded in your nervous system, and it's not broken. It's working exactly the way it was designed to work millions of years ago. The reason you can feel a gaze on your skin is because, for most of human history, being watched meant you were about to die. Let's start with what you actually feel when you sense someone watching you. It's not telepathy. It's not a sixth sense in the mystical way. What you're experiencing is an incredibly sophisticated pattern recognition system that your brain built over millions of years. When another human is looking directly at you, something changes in the energy of the space between you. You don't consciously register what that something is, but every cell in your body does. In 1998, a psychologist named Rupert Sheldrake designed an experiment to measure whether people could actually detect being watched. He had one person sit in a chair facing away from a second person who sat behind them. The person in front could not turn around. A computer randomly decided whether the person behind would stare at the back of their head or look away. After every trial, the person in front had to guess whether they were being watched. Across thousands of trials with hundreds of participants, people guessed correctly far more often than chance would predict. Not dramatically more often, but consistently, measurably more often. The results were controversial. Most mainstream psychologists dismissed them. Yet, the effect kept appearing in study after study across different countries and cultures. Something was there. Something small but real. What you're actually detecting when you feel that gaze is a shift in how another person's body language is oriented. A slight change in air pressure from their breathing pattern. A microsecond shift in the electromagnetic field around their brain. Most likely, a combination of all these things at once, none of which you're consciously aware you're processing. Your brain is far more sensitive to the presence of eyes than it is to almost anything else. Neuroscientist Robert Adams has spent his career studying how human brains respond to faces and eyes. When you show someone a photograph, their eyes will fixate on another person's eyes within milliseconds. Not the mouth, not the hands. The eyes, your visual cortex, has evolved to prioritize the detection of gaze above almost every other visual stimulus in your environment. But here's the question that matters. Why? Why did your brain evolve to be this obsessed with eyes? The answer lives in the killing fields of human prehistory. For millions of years, your ancestors did not live in a world of law and order. They lived in a world where another human being's attention could mean food if you were a hunter, or death if you were prey. The ability to sense that you had become the object of someone's focused intention was not a luxury. It was the difference between surviving to reproduce and being removed from the gene pool. Being watched meant being selected. Being selected meant being hunted. Predators watch their prey before they strike. A lion doesn't charge without eye contact. A human competitor doesn't attack without assessing their target's awareness. For hundreds of thousands of years, your ancestors lived in small groups where attention itself was a threat signal. When someone looked at you in a particular way, it meant they had decided you were worth their next action. Usually that action was not friendly. Your ancestors, who could feel that gaze coming, lived. Your ancestors, who couldn't feel it, were less likely to live long enough to have children. Evolution is a filter, and the filter selected hard for people who could detect the moment they became the object of someone else's focused intention. This is why the feeling is so primal. It doesn't come from your conscious mind. It comes from your amygdala, the ancient alarm system in your brain that processes threat before your conscious awareness even has a chance to register what's happening. Someone is looking at you. You feel it. Before you think about why, your body has already shifted into a subtle state of preparation. Your muscles are slightly tenser. Your breathing is shallower. Your peripheral vision has expanded. You're ready to move. Psychologist Eckhart Hess discovered something remarkable in the 1960s about how the human brain responds to being looked at. He showed people photographs of eyes in different states of pupil dilation. When the pupils were dilated, people found the face more attractive and trustworthy. When the pupils were constricted, they found the same face threatening. The participants had no idea why they felt this way. Pupil dilation is invisible to most people, yet their brains detected it instantly and created an emotional response around it. Why? Because for thousands of years, dilated pupils meant openness and arousal, which could mean either threat or attraction. Constricted pupils meant cold calculation and predatory focus. Your brain learned to read that signal so automatically that you don't even know you're reading it. This is the architecture of the feeling you're experiencing right now. It's not magic. It's millions of years of neurological engineering, refined by the depths of everyone who didn't have it. But here's where it gets strange. You feel watched all the time. You feel it even when no one is actually watching you. You feel it when you think someone might be watching you. You feel it when you're in a crowded place and you're not even sure who could be watching you. Your system is stuck in overdrive. This is called hypervigilance, and it's one of the things that makes modern human life so exhausting. Your threat detection system evolved in a world of maybe 50 people. You knew everyone in your group. You knew which of them were allies and which of them were threats. You knew the landscape. You knew when and where danger was likely to come from. You could calibrate your alertness based on actual patterns of threat. Now, you live in a world of 8 billion people. You navigate crowded streets. You ride elevators with strangers. You work in open offices surrounded by people whose intentions toward you are completely unclear. Every single one of them could theoretically be watching you. Every window could have an eye behind it. Every person walking past could decide right now to focus their attention on you in a threatening way. Your ancient threat detection system has no off switch. It's running 24 hours a day in an environment it was never designed for. You are experiencing the constant low-level hum of threat awareness in a world that your brain perceives as infinitely full of potential threats. This is also why you feel watched when you're alone. The absence of people doesn't turn the system off. It just redirects it. If no one is actually there to watch you, your brain invents the possibility that someone could be there. You feel watched by the ghost of attention. You feel watched by the possibility of being seen. This might explain why so many people feel anxious in crowds, why so many people feel more comfortable when they know exactly where other people are, why we're all instinctively drawn to spaces where we can see the entrances and exits. Your ancient brain is trying to do the job it was designed to do. It's trying to keep you alive by maintaining constant awareness of where you stand in relation to every pair of eyes that could possibly be a threat to you. There is a beautiful irony in all of this. Your ability to feel watched evolved because being watched actually used to be dangerous. Now, in a world where you're far safer than your ancestors ever were, you feel watched all the time, constantly, in places where there is no danger at all. Your nervous system is protecting you from a threat that largely doesn't exist anymore. But there's a flip side to this too. Your sensitivity to being watched is also the foundation of human morality. People behave differently when they think they're being watched. They're kinder, they're more honest, they're more generous. Studies show that simply drawing eyes on a wall makes people donate more money to a common fund. The watching eye is a social organizing force. It's how we learned to trust each other. It's how we learn to be trustworthy. Your ancestors felt watched because they lived in close-knit groups where they actually were always watching each other. Everyone was always aware of everyone else's behavior, and that constant awareness created an incentive to behave in ways that would make you a valuable member of the group. The gene pool selected for people who not only could feel watched, but who cared deeply about being watched, who wanted to be seen behaving well. This is why you feel self-conscious at a dinner party. This is why you second-guess your words in conversations. This is why you feel ashamed when someone disagrees with you publicly. Your brain is running a system that was designed to make you exquisitely sensitive to the judgment of the group, because for most of human history, being exiled from the group was a death sentence. So next time you feel that crawling sensation on the back of your neck, next time you're certain someone is watching you, don't dismiss it. Don't tell yourself you're being paranoid. Instead, pause and ask yourself what your nervous system is actually trying to do. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's keeping you alive. It's keeping you aware of your place in the social world around you. It's reminding you that you matter to others, that others notice you, that you have to care about being seen. You can feel it because for millions of years, being watched meant something. Now you know why. The feeling never goes away. It goes away because it was never supposed to. It was supposed to be the background radiation of your existence. The baseline hum of a creature that evolved in a world of constant social attention, now trapped in a world of 8 billion anonymous eyes. You feel like someone is watching you because for your whole evolutionary history, someone always was.